So we always start with that essential perspective shift. The most important shift of this practice is just in perspective. The most powerful asana inversion pose is in the mind. So we really want to be aware that we're transitioning away from being a person that's hauling a physical body around and trying to make the physical body do stuff for an hour and 15 minutes. That model is old and crusty and outdated. We need to let that go. And we need to be aware that we're letting it go. So if we're not doing that, if we're not hauling our body from A to B to C and then calling it yoga, then what are we doing? And think of it as a constant remembering of simple presence. It's just be present. That's it. The rest is, when we go into a posture, it's just about allowing that presence, if you will, to trickle in to wherever that posture takes us. So we're toning the body. Think of it as we're toning the body with presence. And the posture just allows us to do that a little deeper. Get in there a little deeper and tone the tissues, tone the body. But it's supposed to be ultra easy. It's supposed to be like lying on a massage table and just getting loved up really deep by the therapist. The difference is that you are the therapist. And think of me as your cheerleader on the side going, hey, just remember, don't objectify yourself. Don't push yourself. Don't treat your body like a thing anymore. Treat your body like a lover, like a friend, like somebody you're caressing with every movement, every breath. It changes everything. So the most gentle of caresses, yet the most deep, is that breath. Which is all, it's been happening. We're just now knowing that it's happening, feeling that it's happening, and that's the special ingredient. When we become aware of the breath, it becomes a deep breath. You don't have to make it bigger. You don't have to balloon your lungs. Just feel your breath. Imagine sipping it into your heart. As though you're drinking the breath with your soul. And before, where the breath was just kind of knocking at the door or just kind of hanging out at the doorway, now the breath is actually entering the temple. And as it enters the temple, the stale, stagnant air starts to swirl and get turned up and out of the rooms. So you're not just breathing with your lungs, you're breathing with your whole being. You're breathing not into your body, but through your body. Nothing can stagnate. The breath is light. The breath is the wind that carries the awareness into the deep spaces of your body. Good. The breath and feeling go hand in hand. It's like you are the feeler and you're surfing your breath way, way into yourself. That's an inhale. And the exhale is like the wave out that clears, flushes on a cellular level and even deeper, maybe even an atomic level, a DNA level. Thorough. And then we introduce the postures just as a enhancement to what's already going on. So we're already deep cleaning. We're just going to throw in a little extra help. Think of it that way. We're bringing the hands to the floor in front of us. And just by that simple meeting, the little gentle stretch that we normally miss, we're going to stop and feel that gentle stretch and wiggle and explore. And however you enter into the deep inner space, just go for it. Do your thing. But generally speaking, we're just sliding forward. The hands are sliding on the floor till you find a happy place where the massage pressure is just right. That may bring you to your elbows, to your forehead, or you may be on your hands. Wherever you are with it is perfect. Just keep the breath flowing. Let's clean out this room. And sometimes the exhale, if it's a deep breath, the exhale will leave with a tone, with a vibration of that satisfaction of clearing out. And then, even though we know we're going to go over that left leg, we're slowing it down like it's the first time ever. And we're just hovering over that left leg. Remember, the name of the game today is not to rock the body in the typical sense where we're stretching here and stretching there. We want to whisper through the rooms, tiptoe through the rooms. And in that, we find that they go deeper than we thought. So you're facing that left leg or you're hovering over that left leg. This is where we all vary. You may find yourself draped on that left leg with your chin on the knee. You may find yourself just upright, just simply facing that leg. Breathe. To taste the form with your heart. The heart never needs to barge in. Good. Now, depending on where you are from there, we're going to just progress a little further to the left so that we're leaning onto the support of that left hand, maybe on the hand, maybe the elbow. And then slide that right hand to the left, slow motion. This starts to open up not only the obvious surface layers of the arms and chest and ribs, but go deeper this time. Go inside of the ribs. Go into the deep space, and as your arm floats up over your head and reaches over and rolls back, and you start to knock around in there a little bit, see if you can reach to the same place that the breath goes. As though to allow your arms and legs and really every aspect of your body to tap the place where the fountain bubbles up. It's not a hard or striving thing, but you can go deep. You can go really deep with it. It's the deepest place we can reach. And we've got a long journey to enjoy, like a massage stroke, as we travel to the right leg. So that may appear as that right hand coming back down to the floor, or maybe it's the elbows. However you go about it, we're just either turning slowly to face the right leg or doing a full-on swing down through the center. And the slower the motion, the deeper the motion can plow through the tissues in a loving way. And then we arrive over the right leg, support of the hands, elbows, chin to knee, or just upright facing it. And by pausing at this halfway mark, in a way we're saying to the body, I love you. I'm not going to just bombard you. I'm really going to enter this next room slowly and quietly and deeply. So we're going to go into the next room by leaning into that right hand or that right elbow. Slide the left hand along the floor to the right. Feel the openings that begin to appear on the outer layers. And then as the arm starts to rotate up and over the head, penetrate the inner layers. Oh, that nice, natural, deep morning stretchy feeling. You've done this many times in your life, either in this form or another. Maybe we didn't realize just how profound it really is. This is soul, spirit, consciousness allowing to permeate the body through the influx point of your heart. So give time for that. Don't wait for the next posture. Really bask in this. You wouldn't rush a sunbathing session if it felt really good. You are the sunshine. And then when you come back down to the center, yet another nice massage stroke that seems to go from that left hip deeply to the sacrum, low back areas. And we're going to just hang out there for a moment and let all that permeate. Notice how you really haven't done a lot of pushing or striving or anything like that, but the effects are resonating in your cells quite deeply. And when you sit up from there, sit tall. Let your eyes be closed and really see yourself as super tall, goddess-like being, just really regal in your posture. And let your arms, hands float off the ground. And this is like an epic moment where this goddess being sweeps her arms forward up to the sky, and then you pause at the tippy top. There's a circuit connection that happens with this directly up reach. See if you can feel, eyes closed for now, sense what is above you that cannot be seen with the physical eyes, and touch it, connect to it, and be the connector for the earth. And breathe. It's not a striving reach. It's a touching reach. Touch the infinite. And then start to let your arms float backwards. And as your arms float backwards, pay attention to the beautiful openings that start to occur on the shoulders and chest. And keep that nice degree of depth as you sweep your hands to the floor behind you. And then just rest on those powerful pillars of your arms and let your belly, chest speak of just emanating. You're just emanating out your belly and chest from the center of you, which is not a finite place, but an infinite place. Radiance and light. If you want, you can even bring in that oomph energy, a little more earthy, rootsy, powerful reach of the pelvis. It's like something else is lifting you. You're not doing the lifting. You're not hauling your body forward. You just can't help it. It's like a tsunami is coming out of you, and you just got to go with it. That's the lift. And then when the tsunami passes and you set back down, there's that blissful I'm here feeling. With our consciousness, zero in on the center of you, as in the center channel. Visualize the spine if that helps, the actual spinal column, but see and feel the energy, the channel. And we use this first twist to only delicately activate the channel. So with this twist, we turn to either side, whichever one you feel called to first, and just kiss the twist. It's just a soft, simple, bottom to top caress of the spine, central channel, and then caress it with the breath. the more stretchy it feels, the less deep it becomes. So we want to avoid the stretchy feeling and go right for deep spinal penetration. Your spine as grand as the Nile River. Really feel how big it is. And the movement from one side to the other in any twist is always something to slow down and really feel. Because there's a whole untwist, released portion, and then there's a retwist the other side. It's a different motivation than we're used to. We're so used to stretch the body out. That's how we measure the progress. This is a different measure, a different scale. We're not measuring by how much we stretched the body, but how deeply we penetrated with our awareness. Whole different game. Whisper, just come back to the center. This next motion is one of my all-time favorites, and it couldn't be simpler. We're basically just uncrossing the legs and going straight, but do it like it's the first time you've ever felt your legs. So that the extension of your legs is the embodying of your legs. You're actually reaching into your legs. And then reach into your toes. Give your toes a little extra forward. And then give the heels the same love. It's like we're just trying on these legs. Maybe reach one of your feet a little further than the other and alternate. There's many ways you might come up with something I haven't. And just try on your legs the way you want to. Feel your breath in your legs. And if you're leaning on your hands, we're probably reclined a few degrees. So the forward fold is not necessarily folding forward. It might just be sitting up. It might be to go from leaning back on your hands to simply bringing your hands to your lap. We're going to let the toes be. We're just let our hands rest. And even though that's a subtle difference, today it's huge. Just sit with that. It may not even be necessary to go any further. But if it is, you're going to feel that pull. You're going to feel the desire, the authentic desire to venture deeper via venturing further, forward. So it's entirely up to you. If you're happy and upright, there's no need. If you feel like reaching in a little deeper, go for it. So there's two main aspects, but it is really one. The backs of your legs and the back. If you want to focus on the backs of your legs, stay a little bit more straight spine. If you want to bring it into the back as well, round your shoulders and head down into it also, to whatever degree, and just let it be the entire back side of you. Opening. Perceiving your body is very big, very expansive. You are covering a massive surface area. Any taking of the hands to the feet is not to pull yourself further. It's more to bring the opening into the upper back arms, the space between your shoulder blades or the shoulder blades themselves. So it's all about reaching in deeper to the backside. It's not about getting further forward. And it's after we've been here for a little while that we really learn about ourselves. And we really learn if we're waiting for it to be over on any level, or we want to come out already, that just simply means that we went too far. So if that is the case for you, smile and just back off even a little bit. And that stretch that was intense becomes a stretch that's just blissfully intense or blissfully soft. Think of the posture as alive. And then we're just going to refresh everything by backing away. Backing away for you, maybe like an inch. Or it may be a lot more. It doesn't matter. It's that we're slowing it down and really backing out of this room with honor. And notice as the stretch disappears, the after effect, that buzz, that whatever that is, that's you having embodied way deeper. That's what the cells of the body crave more than anything. So we're feeding ourselves right now. And this is the digestion process. Your movement back may be to the hands, by the way. It doesn't have to be to the seated, upright. Hands in the lap. And now that we know what's up, we've experienced being in it and we've experienced being out of it, let's go back into this particular form wiser than before, and just, you may find second time around, you don't even have to go as far. Or you may find that it has a different feeling to it, or you're called to focus in a different area. Really listen. Trust exactly what your body's saying. If it feels good, it's good. Trading in one really deep, valuable pose for 1,000 superficial ones. Maybe for the last few, if you've been a little shy, maybe shake things up by going a little further on purpose. If you've been really full on, shake things up by backing off and spend our last few breaths here doing something different than you have been. Just keep it fresh. It's the contrast that heightens the sensitivity to what we're feeling. So play with contrast anytime. Now we back away. The way we're going to contrast the opening of the backside is just now squeeze the backside. And the way we're going to do that is bring the hands to the floor behind us. And it's up to you. You can stay on your legs, and this will become the heels and hands. Or if you want to take it a little more intro, just to get a feel for it, slide the feet back. And then it'll be feet and hands. Either way, really think happy thoughts, think floaty thoughts, think lightness. Let that be your inspiration to leave the ground here and arrive on hands and feet or hands and heels, and let everything else be floaty. Maybe let the head relax back. See your bones as the beautiful pillars of support. And see the muscles of your backside squeezing in this nice uniform way that taxes no part of your backside. It just lovingly flushes the whole backside. Even put a smile on your face and a smile in your heart with the breath. Good. And that's a whole other flavor now, which we're going to allow ourselves to taste. Just like after you swallow the wine and the after flavors and all that follows. So we just sipped the wine. Now we're going to just let it perk. And then we're going to let the hands go from the floor behind us to just softly, casually wrapping around the legs as the last posture is still tingling. As the area of focus starts to gather around the tummy area, the belly, the abdomen, whatever label you want to throw on it, it's way, way bigger. And as the arms float off of the legs, feel as the ocean that is your belly, your tummy, starts to coalesce into that beautiful flexion. And then if you're not satisfied with the intensity of it, bring it back, just lean back a little bit, as if degree by degree. If you ever done a manual fade in with the volume knob, that kind of slow motion, just turning up the volume until it's just right, and then hang out right there, surround it, envelop it in breath. So there's this, in a way, this external posture, the one that we can see. Then there's an internal posture, and that internal posture should be one of ease, calm, like you're lying down inside, totally at ease. Make space for the strength to be strong in your belly. We don't have to push it. By the way, if you're feeling it, you can keep progressing to feet off the ground, and you can turn it up as loud as you want here if you want to rock out to it. The best place is a place where you feel it, but you're not waiting for it to be over. You can hang with it for a while. Maybe just teasing your edge a little bit, just going a little further maybe. And then back away. We're going to let the feet softly return to the floor, And feel all the while how your abdomen is responding to this change. And then we're going from leaning back to leaning forward, and the arms meet the legs. And as the arms meet the legs, notice how the abdomen softens. And it's just all about toning our body into presence. It's not an exercise, a physical exercise intended to strengthen muscle tone or anything like that. Those are side effects. It's all about feeling. And through that feeling, we're toning your body, tapping its untapped powers. So let's let the arms float off the legs again. Reintroduce just for a second round, all the wiser now. Start to turn up the volume knob and it's all yours. Even feel free to play with it this round. See what's possible while the strength is there. See if fluidity can also be there. Malleability. So that strength doesn't have to mean stiffness or rigidity. Rewriting the program of strength. It can be fascinating to move your arms around and just feel how deeply connected the arms are to the core. And then we're going to come out of this one slightly different than last time to cross legs. On our way to hands and knees, however you make that journey is fine. Just keep it slow. Again, if it helps, keep the eyes closed and just see your body as really big. So every movement has that feeling of an event. First event, once we're on hands and knees, is to just let gravity have us. Fall onto the bones, let the head and belly hang. Deep breath. Tune into that spine again. And as you draw up the head slowly, the slower we go, the higher quality this little squeeze motion is as the back of the spine compresses deliciously. And the front side, not only the spine, but everything from the chin to the pelvis, all opening up. And then while keeping that same shape, that same curve and opening, just move around a little bit upon your hands and knees. Just check out the lay of the land as you move forward, back, left, and right. It's like you're traveling up and down, left and right through the tissues and spine and surrounding areas. And then come back to what feels like the middle. The middle is that natural place where it feels like each limb is equally supporting, and then the head starts to fall again, but also the tailbone starts to curve under, and then the front side squeezes and the chin draws towards your chest, and you're lovingly and yet softly pressing away the earth, feeling the shoulder blades parting like the back doors of your heart. And just breathe. As you feel that curve, again, move around a little bit. Forward, back, left, right, round. Good. If you knew that even the slightest caress of your body was creating huge shifts in your body, we would all slow down a lot more. Let's come back to the middle And now move between the two. This is where we connect those. Belly drops and heads rise. Exhale. Back rises, head drops. And then as we continue that motion, the inhale seems to synchronize with the rise and fall of the head. So the inhale is the rise of the head, the exhale, the fall of the head. And then we make it a point to really smooth out that transition. So inhale becomes exhale smoothly, exhale becomes inhale smoothly. And we start to find ourselves in this beautiful dance between breath and spine, fluctuating in these gorgeous sine curves that are rippling through your spine. Good. The way the ripples move through the earth when the earth shakes, just let that shock wave pass through your entire spine, realigning all the tectonic plates of your spinal column. The movement itself is pure love. If you start to get that distinct feeling like other aspects of your spine want that love as well, you can break free and start to reach into your sides as well. And at this point, it's all yours. Just move. Head, shoulders, pelvis, everything. Make as much room for your spine to play as you possibly can, but gently. And then our next twist with a little bit more oomph than the first round, we're going to bring that right arm collapsing and sliding under the left to softly place the right shoulder and right side of your head on the ground, and then leverage the earth with your hand, or even reach up to the sky and leverage the floor with your right arm. However you do it, use what you got to wring yourself out in a little more juicy fashion this time. Now as you move your arm around, if your left arm is off the ground and in the air, move it around a little bit. See as your arm direction shifts or your arm rotation shifts, see how it affects what's going on deep at the wellspring inside. And then the untwist is when all the goodies are reaped. So take your time, right arm slides out with the support of the left hand. I'm going to take an extra moment, pause and breathe, just feel that for a second. And venture into that beautiful, huge canal of your spine. Oh. Oftentimes, we're flexing more than we need to, and even resisting the very posture we're attempting to move into. So really watch for that. Sometimes it's just as simple as asking, am I receiving this right now? Am I resisting it? And then just really take a deep breath and relax. Let go of any unnecessary tug of wars and just really get the posture, almost like someone else is doing it to you. And just breathe, receive it. Let that right hand return to the earth again. That's your guide, and sliding the left arm out nice and smooth. The untwist harvest. And then the free form again. Just one more time. Sort of erase any lines that remain with unpredictable motion in any direction. It's like we're, through the movement of the body, we're erasing the lines in the mind, the rigid overlay of all that we've been told about the body since we were born. Just imagine erasing it all and having nothing left but just the pure organic you. That's what this motion is about. And then we're going to come forward, venturing into the deep, low spine, front side, inner belly by just simply coming down to the elbows, resting on the elbows. Again, easy breezy posture that allows us to free up more of our attention on that inner space travel. We want to travel right on down the tunnel of the spine, down to where you can feel it beautifully, deliciously prying up from the floor. And even see if you can palpate where the spine and the pelvis join. That awesome powerhouse of your sacrum and all that good stuff. Even wiggling the hips a little side to side. Get on in there. The body responds perfectly and appropriately to exactly how we meet it. So when we meet it like this and we take time, it's just imagine your body saying, "Whoa, you're touching me like you've never touched me before," and just feel your body soften and melt. It's like you're not objectifying me anymore. You're not imposing on me anymore. You're caressing me. You're loving me. And your body knows that. The mind-body connection is really a trust bond. It's developing that trust. Otherwise, we're just prying the body. Get in there for these last few moments in this particular form. Try stuff out. Just get a little more involved. Wiggle around in there. We've shown the body we care. We're obviously not barging our way into the temple anymore. So now we can proceed and actually do a little bit more deep digging. Really be in the place that you're feeling right now. Be inside of it. Get different angles. Shift your hips. And squeeze that pelvic floor muscle, the perineum, or your lower abdomen. Get in there. When the trust is there, you can really go for it with the body. You can really get in there. Good. Another movement that we could easily do quick is to bring the pelvis off the floor and go back to that child's pose as our next stop along the way. But let's slow this down too, because it's really cool to watch how the body goes about it. Just bringing your pelvis off the ground, still on your elbows at first. Feel what that does, the way that activates your core almost around the full circumference, back and front and sides. It's a nice feeling. And then progress from your elbows to your hands. Maybe one hand slides back to where that elbow was, and then the other one, or however you chart your path, just do it while sustaining yourself gracefully, passing over the knees and sitting down on the heels. That last leg of the motion is the real good juicy part, as it answers where we just were by opening the same part of the spine on the backside. And then curl in on yourself, face towards the top of your knees or front of your knees or towards your lap, requiring your core to squeeze and your low back to gently blow out and open up to the light of day. Deep breath there. Just breathing all your internal organs in light, the light of your breath. Your kidneys, your adrenals, all that good stuff. It's nice to know that that's happening. And then it just seems like a natural and perfect progression to sit up slowly, and from that place, that upright place, this is where we may branch off from each other. You may find that sitting up is enough. You may want to lean back. If you lean back, you may want to go as far as elbows, maybe even to your back. Just really enter with care, because you want to hang out here for a little bit. And there's quite a lot of variability here. So for example, the knees can go wider apart. Feel what that does. And then I call this scanning. Scan from knees wide apart to knees all the way together or close together. Just kind of scan that and feel, what do you like best? Is there a place in between, or do you like wider, closer? And then there's the tilt of the pelvis too. So we've got this ability to tilt the pelvis back, kind of lay it down. Imagine your tailbone curving under. If you're flexy that way, your knees may even want to leave the ground and open up the front of your shins and tops of your feet, ankles. And then with the support of the hands, let the pelvis and the belly move forward. Head relax back. Deep breath. And we're going to answer all of that with a hands and feet pyramid pose, aka downward dog. We're going to bring the hands forward onto the hands and knees. Slowing it down again, turn the toes under, knees are going to leave the ground, which activates chest, arms, core. When you're conscious of what the supporting aspects of your body are, the easier it is. So you can really rely on the support of your bones. And what muscle support there is can basically be minimal and just enough to heat this form up in a really pleasant way. So just all it is hands and feet at the same time. Don't worry about any exact details from there, but certainly feel free to play. Come forward, back, lean left, lean right, bend one leg, straighten the other, alternate, however you want to play. And drop your heart towards the floor or move it up away. Squat towards the heels or straighten the legs. Good. So already the backs of the legs are starting to open up again, like when we were doing the forward fold seated, but now we're going to introduce a forward fold standing, which is a whole different animal. As you scooch the hands closer to the feet, watch what happens in the backs of your legs.
And eventually transferring the support out of the arms and upper body, and just let all of the support be in the bones of the legs, and everything from the waist up hangs. This is a whole different playground than the seated forward fold. All because of our orientation to gravity. So now because we're on our feet, we've got a lot more energy moving through the legs just by itself. So it's just enough to hang. But if you want to activate it in certain ways, there's plenty of ways to do that. For example, slightly gripping toes, or flex your legs if they can be straight comfortably and feel the kneecaps kind of float up, or squeeze the abdomen a little. You can really make it quite juicy. If you like grabbing the big toes or the ankles or anything like that. And then scan slowly to the right, leaving the legs as they are, and just let it happen from torso, waist area on up. Remember, every posture is an access code into your body, but if you scream it at the body, the door stays shut. We got to just whisper it. So really manage that edge. You can go as intense as you want as long as the trust is there. Good. Slowly through the center, scan to the left side. The breath is a lot of what makes the body feel safe. Oh yeah. And gravity draws us back to the middle like a lazy pendulum, just kind of arriving in the middle, maybe after a couple of lazy swings. And we know that we're going to stand, and we know there's no wrong way to do that, and as always, we're going to go slow. Really let the standing itself be a massage. Oh, right on up the back. Oh, your arms just hanging lazily. When you arrive on the restful standing position, I invite you to close your eyes again if you're not already, and just feel and see this posture internally. Just to heighten our sense of this, the energy of this posture, just imagine zero gravity for a moment if you can. Imagine there's no earth, no floor, no down, no ground. And how unsettling that would feel in a way. And by contrast, just to have your feet on the ground is like soul food. Just feel that. Feel the energy of the earth rising up through the channels of your feet and on up your legs. Feel it coalesce at the pelvic floor where Mula Bandha is. Just gently connect that circuit by flexing the perineum. Just enough. Stabilize your legs. Imagine making them not stiff, but stable, strong. And let the hands guide the pelvis forward as little helpers, and making the pelvis the leading edge of this posture, opening up the front of the hips, the lower part of the spine, and if it feels safe and inviting, you can start to roll the gaze up to the sky. And now all the energy that was already flowing through our body is really heightened. The trick is somehow relaxing as it's exploding up the body. Imagine just getting out of the way and let it rise up through you like a volcanic eruption. That doesn't hurt or destruct, but just clears you out. draw yourself back to the neutral stance, make that short distance a long one. Till you hit the sweet spot of just restful standing, your arms fall, and we just let that ring. Hopefully feeling less like we're standing on the earth and more like we are a part of the earth. The earth is a part of us. We're a part of the earth. Feel that merging. It's a very safe and cozy feeling to have the earth on your side. Very calming. So just feel that. And then we're going to tap that even more by just sitting down, letting the knees bend. So by sitting down into the earth, you can go as deep as you like here, by the way. We do want to be able to hang out for a little while without waiting for it to be over. We want to just feel nice, friendly warmth building in the legs, nice powerful sensation. And then let the arms, almost lazy-like, float on up. But unlike kind of awkward pose where the arms are straight, we just round them. Fingers towards each other, elbows round away. And just be with this in a very fluid, bouncy, soft way. We're not stiffly holding this because that actually burns energy. We want it to flow and build. Yeah, nice. If you want more flavor, just sit on down deeper. And as the energy builds, let your breath build as well. Understand that there is a defense mechanism built into the programming against growing brighter, against growing stronger, against being more, housing more power, voltage. It's a kind of defense mechanism built in for whatever reason. So if you can be aware of that, when your mind starts to react or starts to think about how long do we have to hold this, things like that, you can just smile and keep that breath going because you know it's working. Movement back to straight legs and arms at your sides is an integral aspect of this form. So do it slow again and arrive in standing so still that all you can feel is the movement of energy that follows. And finally, we're going to go up. So we've gone forward, back, down, and now let's go up. So the arms maybe start the way they start to float up, almost like something else is doing it. All the way, bright reach to the fingertips. And then your hands are so light that it's starting to pick you up off the ground. You leave your heels even. If leaving the heels is not an option, just stay on the heels and keep feeling that lightness. So it's a practice of embodying levity. You're not lifting, you're being lifted. And just know that your body is in a way consuming that energy, resonating with that lightness. And then we're going to let the heels, as softly as possible, return to the earth. I always imagine kind of coming down through the layers of the atmosphere back down to earth as we make our way to a full squat all the way down.
Squat for the sake of the squat. Just be here in whatever form you can relax the most. And it's all yours. Just breathe, let gravity do the work. And over time, we're just going to turn this into a hands and feet again. So do that however you like. Typically, the hands got to make a little journey forward. The legs got to go a little bit more straight. But that's basically it. And just find yourself in that hands and feet formation again. This is where we're going to go focusing in on the hips now. Feel free to stay on your hands and feet here. But if you want to try to uproot that left leg, do it consciously. In other words, be aware of how that left leg support has been distributed to the remaining 3 limbs. If you can be aware of that, then you can direct it consciously and with as little friction as possible so that you can rest as you beam your left leg with some oomph, with some passion, silent passion, all the way to and through the toes. Good. And then we answer that by pointing the knee, sliding onto the shin or the side of the leg, and just settle down nice and softly. Let your weight sink into that hip. So it's first that down motion, the settling down. That opens you up. And we take a moment to press onto the earth. Good. Go nice and tall. Let the earth take an inhale through you. And then as you empty out on the exhale, or it could be over several breaths, we just start to journey on down. Hands, elbows, forehead, wherever you end up is where you're supposed to. Just breathe. Just like when we're untwisting slowly, and think of it like a harvest. This is where you get all the goodies from that. You come back up onto the hands and then turn those right toes under. Now you got 3 supports waiting to happen. 2 hands and the right foot. Be conscious of that, because they're going to be what allows that left foot to float back next to the right. Consciously uprooting the right leg now. Feel how it transfers to the 2 arms and leg. Beam as though the reach is coming from the center of your soul. Only when you're satisfied with that, come sliding through onto the shin, side of the leg. Downward is that first entry. Upward prepares us for the next. Deep inhale. And empty out. erasing the lines between mind and body, body and earth, earth and sky, inside and outside. Yoga is to heal ourselves from all those divisions. We can never feel safe until we feel whole. We never feel safe until we feel part of the whole, one with the whole. And the body can't relax unless we feel safe. Internally. So when harvest time comes around, we're just going about it slightly differently. We're going to come back up onto the hands, but then fall to that right hip. As we fall to that right hip, left leg can swing around, left foot meets the right foot eventually. It's the simple poses that are so profound and free up that attention power to really focus more on the subtleties and the details now. Just wherever you want to take it, forward, back, up, straight spine, rounded spine, it's all yours. Just make it about, again, penetrating, entering the deep tissues, the inner groin and inner thighs, and clean house. Thing I find fascinating about the groin area is so much of that tightness is actually flexion. It's just a habitual flexion. So the way that things open up here can often be like almost like releasing a clenched fist. It's like you notice the fist is clenching and then you go, oh, I don't need to clench. And then the knees fall a little bit more, if even just the tiniest bit. It's kind of the process here. A lot of that tightness is that habit of contraction. Subconscious recoil. So we're just, again, create that space of safety through breath, caress. It's like you're the warm bath water, the hot bath water to your own body. And in that spirit, we're going to just sink all the way into the bath water by leaning back and then eventually turning hands to elbows and elbows to back. Think of it just like you're sinking into the tub. So you're all the way submerged, yet you can breathe still. It's safe to let go. check in, see if there's another layer. Deep inhale. Release the clenched being. By the way, it actually can be very intense. But our inner posture, our inner asana is one of just that deep heart smile and calm. You are the bathwater. So the intensity is not something that oppresses you, but that you envelop within you. And then it just melts away in its own perfect time. Now see this next movement not as the end of this opening, but in a strange way the continuation. So the knees are going to be coming together. That seems like the opposite of what we've been doing. But let's do this very, very slow and bring the knees together without reintroducing the tension that was there. So you stay completely relaxed even as the knees float up first. They're floating upward, and that gradually becomes a floating toward each other. Let all the rumbles and shakes that happen. Unfazed, we just keep on drawing the knees towards each other. We're still the bathwater. Infinitely relaxed. Until the feet eventually go flat to the floor and the knees come together, yet no new tension. And then from there, the core power starts to light up again. The coalescing of your core, which brings the feet off the floor and the thighs towards the abdomen, the knees towards the face towards the knees. You just turn into this really delicious ball for a second. You can even bring the arms into the mix and wrap the legs, but keep the core. Nice deep breaths. A lot of hug energy here. Then our final deep expression of love to ourselves in today's flow is going to be to let that right leg go, but keep the left. For a brief moment, that knee is moving in towards the chest, heart area, shoulder, wherever it feels the best. But then just really think of being thorough, like leaving no stone unturned as you draw that left leg to the right. And your left arm, meanwhile, is starting to overflow to the left. Oh, just nice, delicious, slow twist. Ew. Let your soul touch your body again through the influx center that this twist touches. Good. Don't hesitate to knock around in there while you're in the twist, because sometimes just the littlest tiny lift of the knee or tilt of the pelvis or squeeze of the core, whatever, can give you that pop you're looking for, that adjustment. If you don't get any pops or adjustments, don't let that phase you, because it's still opening. And we're going to draw that leg back. Let the left leg go straight. Right knee comes directly in. Remember, think thorough. Just really loving and deep. Right leg goes to the left arm beautifully opposes. Yeah, there it is. And just for fun, let your hands, even the center of your palms, feel like they're radiating and shining. Let your hands spread a little bit. Let your fingers get lively with this reach, as though the same energy that's flowing in through your center is making its way all the way out to and through the hands and fingertips
hair follicles, toes, your whole body. You're just bathing in you. Down to the marrow of your bones. Everything. And when you're satisfied, just come on back. And we'll take a moment in silence just on the back in whatever form says, I am completely relaxed. See if you can feel the earth turning. Even if you think you're imagining it, doesn't matter. Just feel the earth and feel it turning, rotating. Just that awesome momentum of the planet in relationship to the moon that's getting close to setting. And the sun that's just recently risen. And just sense these bodies, massive, mind-blowing bodies, as you're in direct relationship to them all the time. Just tune into that for a moment. Feel the sky, feel the greater cosmos, the whole enchilada. The core of the earth. And remember that it's all you. It's all your body. Your greater body. And this world, this reality is a safe place to be. And just feel any remnants of anxiety, tension, fear, anything that has been rocking your nerves. Just feel it just sizzle, dissolve, evaporate whenever. Just let it go. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, just let it go. Land in your new you. And when you emerge from Shavasana, however you go about that, back to seated, really let it be a statement. You're claiming your fresh start when you sit back up. And whatever was stays in the floor. The earth can take it and recycle it. Compost it. Thank you for slowing down with me. Namaste.